I know I'm an adult. I should probably not be so pumped for this, but I think that we lose that part of our perspective as adults. Vampires. Stop it. Stop it. Look at that. I don't even know what to say about it, but this is so beautiful. Dark art at its finest. Some type of emotion. He still looks like he's with the best person he could ever possibly be with. Another Minotaur. They like their Minotaurs in here. I didn't realize there were so many of those for not having the knowledge behind them. Guys, a Minotaur and a woman. Okay, we're done with that one. Stop it. A Minotaur, Tor, and a human. Okay, but still. And why? Where? Who's this? We have a lot of lurkers in the background. Hi guys, and welcome back. I am so excited for this video, and I don't know if anybody else is going to be, but I actually made this purchase last week, which immediately made me know this week's video. I wanted to share what I found. I purchased this Monster Romance coloring book from Five Below. We recently got a Five Below where I live, and I had already been in store. I happened to come across this online while purchasing a gift for someone else. I came across this book and I immediately thought I should own this. So I did purchase it, obviously, and I am so excited to go through the pages with you and just kind of show you how incredible this coloring book is. I know I'm an adult. I should probably not be so pumped for this. You know, there's other things going on in life, but I think that we lose that part of our perspective as adults. And I cannot tell you, as a grown woman, how happy this coloring book, just the idea that this is even a thing and it was made. Wait until you see how cool it is. But this brings me so much happiness. And a part of this channel was figuring out what that is that I was, you know, the part of that goes away when we turn adult, you know. So this definitely is up there with something that just, I don't know, it makes me feel something. So, you know, if you stick around and we go through this together, maybe you'll love some of these pictures. I'm just a huge monster, horror, sci-fi fan. So the idea of this book is just incredible to me. And that I get to color them and frame them, hang them throughout my home. I am just pumped for that. So let's get started. I even set the little, like, look at my romantic flowers. It just deserved the setup, because wait until I open this book. So there's more than 100 pages, which I also thought was awesome. This was a $5 coloring book, which I know coloring books range in so many prices now. I mean, they're very expensive to something from, you know, the Dollar Tree. But I thought this was incredibly priced. It's super, I mean, it's like a nice book. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels very well made. The cover is super, they just did an incredible job. I could probably talk about that forever, but here's the back. And so this is just a little glimpse at how incredibly done the images in this coloring book are. But we have like a little, I guess, like a demon type gargoyle and a human woman. And it just gives you a little bit of insight as to why this was created. And when I was reading it online, just the werewolves and the villain aspect of it is, I had to know what was in this book because I was not in store to skim through it. So if I hadn't said it yet, I'm super excited about this. So let's get started on, and it just says down here as well that it explores the dark romance of minotaurs, demons, werewolves, and other forbidden love. I don't know if there's anything cooler. So, okay, we're going to get started. And here is the first page. Are You Joking My Life? This is all floral. Done. Okay, I'm buying it. Here is it like a demon also, and a beautiful woman. Incredible. This is the cover. We have also in this page the idea behind it as well, which is so cool because a lot of coloring books are just coloring books. You don't get these stories and this background to it. And here is a full, I mean, you could pull this out and frame it. This could be framed alone. It's gorgeous. And then we get right into the coloring book. So we have, once again, I think this is the third time I've said this, demon and a woman. Incredible. When I was looking through this though, both my husband and my oldest was like, how do you color those? They almost look like black and white prints on their own, but you can color it. There's plenty of ways to, you know, fill in that, all the texture they give you. That's another thing I loved is there is so much texture to this picture. I don't know if the camera's doing it justice, but there's just shading and so much depth to this image. It's incredible. So you could actually just go over this scale with one color, but the depth is so built in, it would look amazing. Okay, so page 1. I'm also going to try to catch how much I ramble about each page because I'm telling you, it just keeps getting incredible. Vampires. Stop it. Look at this print. Each page also, it described as having like its own little print on the back of it. So that's cool. What coloring book doesn't have either another image on the back that you ruin the front image on, or it has a blank page or something, you know? Just incredible detail. Look at the detail. Unreal. Look at her gorgeous nails. She's so beautiful. He's so beautiful. Okay, I gotta turn the page. Werewolf. Yes. Look at the little hands. Werewolf hands. Yes. It looks like two. That's probably just a headpiece. Oh no, you know what? She has wings. So maybe this is like a demon, and I wouldn't call her an angel. Maybe she's like an underworld angel. But she's gorgeous. All the feathers. I love their little hands. That's beautiful. Just the design of her hands alone. Minotaur. This is a minotaur, I believe. Correct? Okay, I actually wanted to double check my reference to that because I am not as familiar with what, and it's also pronounced minotaur. I'm not as familiar with that monster aspect as I am with like the vampires, the werewolves, zombie type horror. So I wanted to make sure I was referencing that correctly. It's a Minotaur, and that was what this was. So I did know that. But this is also such a gorgeous picture. Her dress, like the detailing of her dress is so well done. It also coordinates with his horns. And then over here on the side for the print is like a in the sky type scenario, castle. Yeah, in the clouds, which is that is actually so cool on its own. I didn't really even look at that side until just now, but that's wonderful. Okay, so now we have, it looks like a little gypsy crystal ball reader. Maybe a witch. She could fall under like a witch of some sort. We have all the little eye designs, different eyes. That's pretty cool too. I just can't decide what's cooler, the print mimicking or the actual, it's just so well done. It really is. Okay, next we have another beast, werewolf type almost, demon, gorgeous lady. Once again, the detail in her dress and that looks like a vest. It looks like he's wearing like a vest or a jacket even of some sort. I think this is what they were referencing when they said like, how are you supposed to color all this in? But I am excited to figure out how to add even more depth to that, or a color scheme of any kind. We have more roses and thorns. A minotaur. Okay. Already butchered that and forgot how to pronounce it. I think it was Minotaur. Yes. And another woman. I don't know how to describe her style. She looks kind of like the fortune teller from back here. Very like, maybe like a boho-y type style, boho style dress and headpiece. Werewolf and woman. More werewolf hands. Look at the moon in the background. So beautiful. And he actually looks super sweet. He doesn't look scary. Mermaids. I am going to, and I've said this in my past video, on the arm I'm working on tattooing, do a mermaid. I am a huge fan of mermaids. I love watching all the information on, are they real? Are they not real? Have they actually been spotted? I just love that. I'm not a diehard, oh my gosh, this is how it is and because it was. I just love the idea of whether they're made up or not. What a beautiful idea. What a beautiful concept that there would be a half human, half fish living in the ocean. Sounds amazing. We have mermaid scales. The little fish are so cute. Another minotaur. And looks like an angel this time. But is she? Because she has a tail. I don't know. And this one looks almost like Greek mythology under that category. This style maybe not as my top favorite. It's very different from the other styles so far. We also have the castles in the clouds again. This one maybe would not be something I gravitated towards in the very beginning. I do like the more intricate This looks a little more simplified to me. It does have pointillism on it though, which is, if you know about pointillism or have ever done it in your lifetime, whoa. I did a giant piece once of fish underwater, and wow. I mean, if you want to talk about testing your patience and learning a skill, try some pointillism, look it up. We should do that on this channel together, some pointillism, and create a piece. That would, I'm going to put that in my notes because that would actually be such a fun thing to try to attempt again. Seeing I did my piece in high school and I'm now in my late 30s. So how cool would that be to readdress that now as I'm older and have more experience with art in general. This is also not one of my favorite styles. Is geometric, which I do love geometric, but this is a little bold and almost perfect. It doesn't look, I don't know, it's just a different type style. And this is another Minotaur. I'm just going to question mark that every time I say it. If I'm pronouncing it right, somebody say that. If I'm not, I'm sure that is not going to go over well, so I apologize. I'm not an expert on that type of. And as a Minotaur Greek mythology, I want to say it falls in that category, but I may be completely off in my thinking towards that as well. But this would be one too that I did not gravitate towards, but it's still very cool. Another one like the one prior, Minotaur, and she also has a tail. But the floral in this is gorgeous. This part is, love her dress. Why is this here? Is that like a, I don't know, a water bottle? I don't know what that is or why it's in there. More roses. Vampire, and it looks like a human. More vampire teeth. Her hands are so cute. Another, I'm just gonna call this guy a bull. He looks like a bull. I can't see his body. The skeleton or the skulls are a yes. But once again, it's more geometric. Not my favorite, but it's very cool. And then we have werewolf hands on that end or on this side. Maybe they just ran out of things to pair with that. Wow. See the difference like in the style? He actually almost looks tattooed, which is really cool. I had not noticed that. He almost looks tattooed. It looks like two demons. Her hair is so cute. It looks like flower pinup, like a flower pinup. This is the style that I gravitate towards. Here's maybe, if I was looking at it and guessing, I would say like a female vampire, even though I can't see her fangs. She is dressed maybe like one. And also this one would not be a choice I made immediately. She would come probably at the end when I started running out of other styles. But this one would be cool to color just because it doesn't have so much detailing, so you're pretty much starting on a bare page other than the outlining, which is pretty cool. Stop it. Look at that. I don't even know what to say about it, but this is so beautiful. Look at that. That's just like dark art at its finest. And he looks, okay, so put this into perspective. As scary as they look, like they still have some type of emotion. He still looks like he's with the best person he could ever possibly be with. Like they're just so in love. It's beautiful. I know it looks scary and this isn't for everybody, but it looks, I mean, if you really look at it, there is more going on. Vampires. Yes, look at her beautiful eyes. That one's really cool. I love the little bats in the background too. Castle. The floral is very pretty. More floral. I'm starting to see, and I did not notice this until we started breaking it down together like this, but the prints on the sides are repetitive, so they do space those out throughout the book. Oh, a little werewolf and a woman. And his style also makes him look like he's tattooed, but you know, he's not. It's just his pattern. That's very cool. I like her style as well. Vampire teeth on the side. More mermaids. We have a merman and a merwoman. And her hair is so gorgeous. More little fish. We have, again, this is the second time the werewolf hands have popped up, which doesn't match this theme, but that's fine. I wonder if I went back through, I bet it goes in order, like the flowers, this, and that. Okay, this one is so cool. It's a village of some sort, and it is incredibly drawn. So intricate. Look at the little flying dragon type things up here and the pathways. Gorgeous. Maybe this is like a village that someone had fallen in love in, and that's what they put, that's why they put it in the book. Just the idea of that. And then we have scales. Yeah, see, like, why weren't the scales back with the mermaids? That's a strange, it must go in order somehow. This just looks like Renaissance-y. I think she might be a vampire, but I'm assuming vampire because there's bats. It looks like there's a semi of a fang there. But a vampire couple, we have the clouds in the sky, or the castle in the sky. We have like an aqua man. What is this guy? I have to look this up as well. Okay, I didn't find anything specific, but an aqua, like an Aquaman and a human woman. It kind of referenced mermaids, so maybe he's a male mermaid. But that's a really cool design, like on his ears and stuff. I feel like he has a more specific name, but I did not come across anything. I actually, though, in my opinion, I feel like her gaze is off. Does anybody else see that? I feel like she's gazing upward and like he's right here. That's kind of strange looking, but that's okay. She actually has scales, but it looks like just a dress as well. So I don't know, maybe they're both mermaids. More vampires. This is more cartoony style, which I like. I'm just not a huge fan of. I like more realness to the image, but they're very cute. More thorns and flowers. Here's like a human male, it looks like, with a maybe underworld princess. Beautiful. I love the trees in the back. Oh, we have a Mothman. And his wings are incredible. And he's with a human woman. He is so cool. Scales. This was the one that they previewed on the back for you. So a human and a demon of some sort. Looks like he just has a ton of armor on. Very cool. This is cool, actually. It's all outlined, but she has like a skeleton headpiece on, it looks like. That's pretty cool. It's more simple. Clouds with the castle. Here is we had them earlier in the coloring book, I believe. These are the same because he almost looks tattooed, which is awesome because the other half of him isn't. Well, it looks like his hand is, but she's gorgeous. This is a really cool picture. And she looks unsure, so I like that actually. Like maybe he does scare her a little, but that's pretty cool. Here is a monster and a human woman. I love her expression. She looks so cute, like all wrapped up. More floral. Demon. She looks like a little elf. Maybe like an elf princess of some sort. And he's super cool. Oh, this would be more like a siren. And I love a siren story as well. I read the, like, I don't know what you want to call them, fairy tales about sirens and sailors all the time. I just love that mythical idea behind it. And this is a really cool picture. A minotaur, tar, and I would say a human. She does have maybe like a little bit elf-like ears, but that one's cool. I like how it's almost looks like a picture that was taken that you would hang on your wall. Maybe not actually them, but an image that was taken. It's pretty cool. Oh, that's a nicely done headpiece. More skeletal features. This is pretty detailed in the backdrop as well. This would take a lot of concentrating to see where everything actually fell and what it belonged to. It looks like it cuts off here with the headpiece and this falls into the background, but then here's her shoulder. So that's very interesting. Vampires? Who's this guy and why is he there? I don't know what that is. We have a lurker in the corner with like a broom that looks like it's a tail. That is such a strange thing added in there. Maybe this is a story that I don't know of. But look at the castle. How cool is that? Like you could color in little stained glass windows and such to make it just pop out of the background. And of course her dress is wonderful. Okay, we have a dragon. And a human. I would assume that this is actually the male. This has got to be the male, and maybe this is a female dragon. Because it looks like he's handing, or going to hand her a rose. So that's kind of a cool concept. Like she's the dark one, and he's the human. I like that. Another minotaur. They like their minotaurs in here. I didn't realize there were so many of those for not having the knowledge behind them. But his skin is cool. Once again, looks tattooed. And then a human. I love her little flower crown. Her dress is so cute. Alien! Alien and a human. Look at how cool this alien is. You could do so many different colors and texture him with so much depth. Like this one's more the style I said I didn't care for, more of the cartoony, but it's so detailed. I actually love this one. And I love aliens. The whole thing again about the controversy, are they real, are they not real? Does it just, I don't know. I love reading stuff like that. It's just interesting. A Minotaur, once again. Minotaur. And a woman. I do like the detailing in this one though. It's more like a pen and ink style as well. We have like a little half choppy bird up here though. Maybe it was unfinished there by accident. Another headdress. They love the headdresses in this too, which is pretty cool. I feel like those would be neat to color. I love her makeup. A Minotaur. Cool outfit. And a human. I don't know. There might be too many Minotaurs for me now the further we get into this book. Oh, here's another village. Man. Oh! Look at the mermaids. Oh my gosh. And the bat dragons are what, coming out of the water? Or getting sucked in? I don't know. Look at these mermaids. They're so cute and little. And then here's your village. Wow, I love that. They're hanging laundry. Look at their little laundry line. How cute. Here's more laundry. I love that one. I didn't even buy this for like a scenery type thing, but these were gonna be so fun. Guys, a Minotaur and a woman. Okay, we're done with that. Bigfoot and a woman, and she looks so happy. I like that one. Stop it. A Minotaur. Tor. And a human. Okay, I feel like I may have said that before. A castle, and look how simple this looks, but not. That's very beautiful too. I don't know, I actually really enjoyed the architecture ones just as much as the romance ones, which I had no idea these were in here. A lot of this coloring book, like I skimmed through it, but I didn't sit and look at it in this much detail, so these are really cool. Vampires or elves. I think just elves. I don't see any fangs, which these two are beautiful. Look at her like headdress, but earrings. So cool. Her little chokers. I love her nails and how like elongated her fingers are. I draw a lot of elongated hands and such, so when I see that in artwork, I think this is just so beautiful. Like bony little fingers and stuff like that. Oh, a little elf. She's cute. And I love the, I actually love the cartooniness of this one as well. Look, there's a little butterfly if you look. It's hidden. It almost looked like a bow, but it has wings. Very nice. Okay, we're getting to the end. Now we have two, like demon, a little demon underworld couple, which I love that. I love their eyes. That's a cool feature. I love the middle of her dress here with all that detail. Coordinates with him. He looks like he has tattooed fingers. That's pretty cool. I don't know what she's holding here. Or what is that? There's a few things I'm not understanding. Maybe if I looked at it and wasn't trying to talk about it at the same time, I could see why that's in there, but I don't know what this goes to. But that might be for another time. Oh my gosh, this one is so cool. Look at the style of this one. Oh, she looks like a little doll, but so does he. And you can like actually see, it looks like a real reflection in his eyes. This one is so cool. And I love that he's wearing a suit. Look at how neat that is. It's like they got dressed up for pictures. I think this one is so cool. Okay, we're definitely doing that one. Okay, so we have like a demon and a human, and I love her hair. A lot of the women's hair have been curly and crazy, and hers is just long and straight. Love that. I don't like her fingers up here. I don't know what's going on here. They've almost disappeared into his print. It's a strange detail, but once again though, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but it almost looks like their gazes are missing each other. I feel like her eyes should be turned more upward into his, and his would be turned into hers. So some of the gazes are a little strange too, I think. Not terrible, just a little off. I immediately think this looks like a transformer when I turn to the page, but it's not. It's like a demon. It looks like maybe this is a little scepter that he may or may not be holding. And there's a lot going on in this one. I don't hate it. I do love the detailing of his face, but this is like the one prior where you're going to have to sit down and seriously see what connects where, because there's so much going on in this print. Not terrible though. A little demon man and a woman. She also has straight hair. I like that. This doesn't look like clothing. This looks like her skin. So maybe she's not a human, but she's printed. And this looks so cool. It almost looks like tattooing again. Whereas it looks like he's clothed. So I don't know. She may be some sort of creature, like half creature, half human. Dragon. This has to be the same couple. So there's the man again, and this is the woman. And she's a dragon. Maybe she has some sort of like curse that turned her into a dragon, but he still loves her because he knew her as a human. We could imagine that. Vampires. I think their gazes make more sense, but still. And why, where, who's this? We have a lot of lurkers in the background, I feel like. I don't know if it's necessary. Oh no, we got one here too. This one looks like this one looks like an Edward. Now, why in the world? What is happening? Are they... I wish this was a window, and this should be a window too, but they're there, and they're here. So you just make do. His vest is cool. Her headpiece tied in there is beautiful. I don't know. This one's a little bit of a hot mess. Werewolf. This one's cool. I like how simplified it is, but also not. There's little, it almost looks broken, like broken little sections of him, which piece together as one full, and he's wearing a tie? Is this guy wearing a tie with his jacket? And this almost looks like a collar as well. See, these take a lot of like really looking at, but he's well done. We have an octopus. That's pretty cool, like an underwater headpiece for, I would assume this is a woman wearing it, and that's pretty cool. This looks like could be if you were thinking on it, like a different take on Ursula. A more, modern day version of Ursula, if you were going to put a spin on it. Oh, I like these two. I love her like smoky eyes and her lips and her hands, of course. And they both, I think she is human, and these are his wings, which his wings look so cool. They have like extra, I don't know what's going on, but it looks beautiful. And like, look at the detailing in her dress and his suit. That is very well done. I like this one. An elf. I would say an elf. We have the ears, and then kind of like a foresty fairy type. Maybe a fairy. That would work. There's like a foresty type feel. Wasn't this one in here, but they were sitting? I think this couple is in there earlier as well, but they're sitting. And once again, this is that cartoony style. That's not my favorite, but it's also not terrible. So we came across them earlier though, I believe. And then I think we're getting to the last couple pages. Yeah, this might be, yep, this is the last page. Last page. It's that guy again, and the dragon. So here's the guy, and here's the dragon head. Not my favorite. That wasn't like a good final piece for me here. Not terrible, but not my favorite. And I would think that that was the same couple as earlier. Okay, so let's see what the last page was. The last page is just the end of the book. I hope that you stuck around for this video and maybe you loved a certain page or viewed it as something differently than I saw it as, and leave any comments that, you know, may have come to mind for yourself. I think this is a little bit of a different video, but I have been going through some things with you guys that I've bought for my office and the hang-ups and such like that. So I really felt the need to share this with you all. If you made it this far and we went through all the pages together, I appreciate you being here with me. Leave any comments below of what you may have thought differently than I did, and maybe your favorite page. I hope to in the future, maybe like on a down week, open this up and we could pick a page and color it. That's my plan later on, you know, maybe over the summer. And I just appreciate you being here. So thank you. I will see you on the next video.